there, what's up? It's Rosie. I am coming at you today with quite the thick stack of books. I am going to be sharing a bit of my TBR for 2024. I was initially thinking doing 24 books for 2024. However, my goal is to read through as much of my physical library as I can, because a rough estimate is I've read maybe 20% of these books, and that's generous. So, if I did 24 for 2024, I would be wrecking these shelves real bad. And I decided, you know what? We're gonna stick it nice and easy. And I am going to do, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 physical books that I'm going to share from my collection that I want to read, as well as stuff from my Kindle. So I want to start with the physical books because they're here, they're ready, they're waiting. It is their time to shine. I've denied them long enough. Let's just hop right into it. If you're new here, I love to talk about books. I love to talk about, you know, reading in general, but very specifically this year I'm on a no-buy year, and one of my rules of my no-buy is I'm not allowed to buy physical books. So I'm trying to also couple that with getting through all of my physical books that I do have here, so I can, you know, I have piles just sort of waiting to be added to a shelf, but in order to add it to a shelf I have to read what's on the shelf and decide whether or not I want to keep it. So we're moving our way through it. I'm thinking of doing like a monthly reading recap as well, just to like keep you up to date on what's going on, because I want to do reading vlogs, but I've tried to do 3 of those and they have evolved into entirely different vlogs just because so much other shit is going on. And the only reason this is happening right now is because I'm about to fly to New York to say goodbye to my family dog, and I'm not gonna have another time to film a second video. So this video is going up first, and then my second video is going to be my weekend vlog of me going to New York for a not so happy reason. But yeah, so I do want to do more specific, like focused book content. I need to figure out how to make that worthwhile though, because I feel like I just share what books I'm going to read and then I tell you if I liked it or not. But I need to do more introspective, in-depth reviews, me things. But yeah, let me know if you're interested in that, because if you are, fantastic, and I will work on it. And if you're not, I'm probably still gonna work on it, but it might not be top of the list, you know? So let's just get into the physical books right quick. They're falling down on my lap. The first one I have is my book of the month for January, which is The Fury by Alex Michaelides, not sure, I know it's Greek. This is the guy who wrote The Silent Patient as well as The Maidens. I liked The Maidens up until the very end, which was a weird twist, and then The Silent Patient I could not get through. Everybody had read it and I had no interest in the main character because I found him annoying, and I just dropped it like 150 pages in. I was like, I don't have to finish this. And I didn't. But since I did enjoy The Maidens, I wanted to give him another try, and The Fury is supposed to be pretty cool. It's once again Greek. He's a Greek man, he writes about Greek things, and this is about a reclusive ex-movie star who invites her friends to go to like her own private Greek island, and I'm sure there's murder and, you know, drama between the besties, and the cover is just gorgeous, so very beautiful. But I, along with obviously reading through my whole back catalog, really want to focus on the books of the month, because I was very bad about reading the book of the month within the month I got it last year. I think I only did it like twice. So we're gonna try to do it, and this was my January one, so I have a little bit of time. This will probably be top of February by the time I get to this, since I'm leaving. Anyways, moving on. This next one is The Paleontologist by Luc Dumas. And this one I started right around when we were moving, so I did not give it the proper time of day. And then I got back into my warrior cats phase, and here we are. So this one is about some dude who moves home and he starts working at their natural history museum, and he has a lot of bad memories associated with it because his sister got like kidnapped there, and so he's sort of like dealing with that and trying to figure out, you know, what's going on at this newly almost abandoned history museum. This takes place in like peak COVID, so the history museum is closed and they're trying to get her ready to open again, I believe. I made it maybe like 2 chapters in, so couldn't tell you for sure. But I loved the idea of this, and it seemed like a cool, pretty easy to commit to thriller. I am looking forward to actually finishing this. Next, I have a second one in a series. This is Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree, who is a Colorado author. I read the very first book, which is Legends and Lattes. I read that around Thanksgiving-ish, and it was just very cute. I read it right after I read Iron Flame, I think, because I needed like a breather. This one just came out like very recently too, maybe a couple months ago. So I'm saving this for when I once again need a breather, because it was very cute, very, you know, high fantasy, comfy, cozy book. And it follows the main character, Viv, who is a retired orc, and she just opened a coffee shop in this fun little town that she liked. As I read the back of this, it kind of seems like this is a prequel, which is fun. So maybe she'll discover coffee in this too. I really want to finish series that I've started this year. However, that's going to be a little hard because I like to own series, which is like stupid. But I already own this, so I can do that. Next, we have Lush Lives by J. Vanessa Lyon. Lyon? Not sure. But this takes place in the New York art scene. It's queer. It's beautiful. And it's about... Oh, this is my bookmark from Petals and Pages, which is the local bookstop I got it from. So, support your local bookstores, babes. Anyways, Lush Lives is a deliciously queer and sexy novel about bold, brilliant women, unafraid to take risks and fight for what they love. Very epic. It's about artists in New York in the art scene and trying to, you know, be true to themselves and deal with capitalism and being queer and navigating the relationships, which, I mean, hey, love to hear about it, love to read about it. And I'm excited to give this one a go because it feels a bit more contemporary lit fic than I normally go for. I'm normally very much a genre person, so I'm excited to read this. I think generally a lot of queer books are more lit fic, and I want to get into that realm this year because I want to read more queer stories. Also, the colors on this are just beautiful. Like, that's the brownstone that the main character lives in, but it looks just like, this makes me think of like a gorgeous pastel stamp. Next, this one was on my 10 before the end for 2023, and clearly we didn't make it. But this is The 7-Year Slip, Ashley Poston. I told you about this one already, but essentially this woman moves into an apartment and she finds out she has a roommate, and they are 7 years apart in time. And of course they fall in love, naturally. So it just, a lot of people raved about it, and I'm very interested to see how the hell that 7-year gap works. It seemed like a cute romance, and I have not read very much romance recently. It's really been middle grade YA warrior cat books. So looking forward to this one. Next, this is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I picked this up when I was in New York for Christmas, and this is another one that a lot of people raved about. It is a YA romance book, and it's about these two kids who are neighbors, and I think they're recreating a lot of like iconic high school love movie scenes just to like have those moments, and it seems very, very cute. I know one of the bookstagrammers I follow, I will look up who it was and put her down here, but she's a Denver bookstagrammer, and she read this in November, and it was all she talked about for the rest of the year. She was like, it took me by surprise, I loved it so much, and I cannot help but recommend. And I was like, okay, I'm sold, say no more. And then my friend Amelia actually gave me a second one of Lynn Painter's books, which I don't know if they're a series or if they're just similar. So if I really love this one, then I have that second one ready to go. All right, next we have These Violent Delights by Micah Nemerever. This was giving to me Secret History, but more Kill Your Darlings and Secret History combined. It's queer, it's taking place in college, of course. It's in the 70s. It is about two boys in college figuring out their queerness. They enter into like a really, really aggressive homoerotic relationship, and they're just like apparently really obsessed with each other. And then according to this, they commit acts of unspeakable violence. That's the Secret History part of it to me, as well as like college, obviously. And I mean, hey, I'm almost done with my Secret History reread. I have literally 30 pages left. We'll be reading it after I finish this video, I think. And it's just the vibe. It's the queer, dark academia is what I'm here for. And if there's murder, great. Okay, my next one is When We Lost Our Heads by Heather O'Neill. This is another homoerotic friendship, but between two women in Montreal in 19th century Canada. Marie Antoine, I keep thinking it's Marie Antoinette and then just like in a different time and place, but no. Marie Antoine and Sadie Arnett, they're like besties, but also they're like really rivals, like frenemies. They sort of compete with each other a lot is what it seems. And then also they're like homoerotically obsessed. So love that. It says it takes place from repressive finishing school to vibrant brothels, and you get to explore gender, sex, desire, class, and the terrifying power of the human heart when it can't let someone go. And look at this cover. This is just a beautiful cover as well. Once again, just the gays going crazy, and that's really what I want in my fiction in the year 2024. My final two physical books are both by the one, the only Mona Awad. Once again, Colorado author and professor, and I mean, hey, I hope I can sell her a textbook someday. But Allswell and Rouge. Rouge is her most recent one. I am very excited for these because Allswell is about a theater teacher, but who's also like a pill addict, and she's trying to put on, I'm pretty sure it's A Midsummer Night's Dream, while dealing with that addiction and trying to get through it. Rouge is about like a daughter who is dealing with her dying mother, and either the mother or the daughter is obsessed with like beauty and skincare, and to a scary crazy level. Yeah, her mother dies, lingering questions about the death, and then there's some kind of like really wild spa thing that her mom used to do, and so it's like the intricacies of beauty rituals that are passed from mother to daughter, typically toxically. So I mean, Mona Awad is the queen of magical realism from a fucked up woman's perspective, and so these just sound fantastic to me, up my alley. And talking about these books is making me excited to get back into like regular fiction books again, because I've just been on the Warrior Cats trade so long, because I mean, hey, they're great, they're addicting, they're like crack to me, but they are not the most mentally enriching things, I guess. I'm not thinking very hard about them. I'm like, these are cats and they're fighting and it's fantasy and cool. Whereas this like magical realism, but with about the lasting impacts of addiction on your passions, as well as like the unexpected consequences of being a daughter raised by a mother who is obsessed with beauty standards. That's some good shit. And then finally, I'm going to talk about my Kindle real quick. It is charging in the other room, so I'm not going to grab her, but I am going to read the Warrior Cats books, obviously. I am 4 series in. There's a total of 8 series, with the 8th one currently being written. The one I'm about to start is like a flashback one, telling like the history of the Warrior Cats clans. And so I figured this was a good place to like pause for right now, because I just wrapped up like the big, huge Avengers-esque arc of all of the cats who have come before to now. And then this is sort of like going to be backtracking, giving more history. And then we're going to continue onward from where we left off, but after this arc. So I was like, okay, get in some normal books and then, you know, leisurely make your way through this arc. And then we'll get into the real juicy meat of it all afterwards. But I have those, and then I do have Kindle Unlimited, as well as Libby. I'm currently listening to The Devotion of Suspect X by Kigo Higashino, and that's the book that Christina really wanted to get me. I'm 30% of the way through. I'm probably going to try to listen to it on the plane tomorrow, and it's pretty interesting so far. I've said it before, I'm not really an audiobook girly. I'm trying to get into it though, especially since Libby has them, and I also can get them through Spotify now. So we are trying to convert. So that wraps up my, let's say, Q1 winter 2024 TBR. Obviously not all encompassing, never is. I tried my best to stick with the one from Vlogmas, and I did okay. I did okay. It's just always a hope, you know? But these are the books that currently are enticing my brain and making me want to read. So there you go. I hope this was interesting. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear what you're reading right now, what you're planning to read soon. Let me know, especially if you have any like book goals for the year. I would love to hear how you're doing. I think I've read 8 books thus far, which is good. Very good for me. They were almost all warrior cats, once again. So, anyways, I have all my links down below always, but I also have Goodreads. I've been doing pretty good with keeping up storygraph. So if you want to add me on there and see what I'm reading as I'm reading it, feel free. Would love to have you. Would love to see what you're reading as well. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a really fabulous whatever time of day you're in. The next time I see you, I will be hectically getting ready for New York. So this is the last bit of calm for this week. I hope your week is a lot more calmer than mine is about to be. I love you, and I will talk to you very soon.